Hello, everyone, and welcome to Evil Laugh Gaming. Today, we are beginning a brand new adventure in Citizen Sleeper. Okay, choose a character class, Operator. An operator works with drones and high-precision remote machines to perform complex tasks from a distance. Sleepers assigned to operator work are usually cerebral and precise people. Okay. Engineer interface intuit. Engage. Interesting. Okay. Or extractor. Oh, I only have two options? Oh no, I get three. Okay. So machinist. A machinist repairs and modifies automated systems used in industrial resource extraction. Sleepers assigned to machinist work are usually diligent, careful, and structured people. Perk, efficient extractor, chancing a random scrap item on engineer actions. Okay. Or the extractor. Extractors work on resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level of endurance. I feel like that works with me. Yes. Famous last words. The first thing you become aware of on waking is the disconnect. The delay between thinking and feeling, between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. The first. Wait, no. It's at its worst when waking. When yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. Ooh. Think of the body. A leap into a cold lake on a hot day. The sting of blood welling from a fresh wound. The friction of a fingertip. All of a sudden, the memories are closer than you thought, blurring as you approach until you can't tell one from the other. The cold slips in, behind and around you, and sensations fade out of reach. Perhaps you should be thankful for the dull nature of this new body. Given your current circumstances, the walls of the container feel immediately present, cold, hard, at your back and face, cramping your limbs. You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that the claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful, not like you used to know pain, at least. In emergency mode, pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There is no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. Remember the plan. You mostly remember that it wasn't a good plan, but then your options were limited. And once you got the itch to get out by any means possible, it was either that plan or something much worse. It was at least simple. Collapse the shaft, drift away into the chaos, slip into cargo processing, seal yourself into the containers, and just hope that the freighter left before you were missed. Some were lost in the shaft, Others never found the meeting point, only a few made it to the containers. But the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough. Enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim and heartless rock. Even if, in the airless hold of a freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reach any destination. Try to rest, but you are restless. It has been a long time since you left, surely weeks, maybe months. You are dully aware of damage to your legs, your right arm. You have been reserving energy as much as possible, but your body has still needed to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. You feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It is time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again recoil into a dream of when you were once a person. Time passes, the cold creeps further in. You feel something. Warmth. Not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from their rigor. Sound, too, everywhere, screeching and shimmering so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its sensors. Then light, white as cold, softer and softer until in a haze of dirty yellow, a figure appears. You are out. Ooh. Okay. It has been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled in a corner of his scrapyard, swaddled in the reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You are slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the ornately curving element of an impressive heater. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ships, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges where a plasma arc sliced them apart. As you trace their shapes, with fogged eyes, you hear a voice. So, sleeper, are you all thought out yet? Almost. Never seen one of you come in like this. New frames must have better perseverance in sub-zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solid to whole plates or inside outer locks in my time. They weren't so lucky. Dragos comes into focus. Shrouded in makeshift tech, his headset with its glinting eyes, the mark of a drone operator. On his shoulder, one of his symbiotically linked drones perches. Its irising eye locking you with an unflinching stare. Last living sleeper that came through this yard was a while ago. They didn't last long. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but he seems lost in memory for a moment. Or perhaps he's just figuring out what to do with you. I plan to survive. You aren't sure if he hears you. I won't ask what led you to do it, to sell yourself to a corporation. And I suppose you know you can't go back. Your old body, that's theirs now. And you are just software. A rogue emulation illegally possessing corporate property. Dang. You nod along. You remember biometrically signing the forms, the cold floor on your feet as you padded to the sleeper cells, the promise of a life off-world. But as you do, you get the now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You are no longer that person. You are an offshoot, a copy. What you won't know is what's ahead. At least the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. SNARP wants to protect their property, but if they can't keep hold of you, well, then no one can. You remember too, or at least rumors of it, from the other sleepers. Planned obsolete, I cannot say that word. Obsolescence. A built-in dependence on the regularly admitted supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them, and your body begins to shut down, separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have? But for now, sleeper, you are the one of the lucky ones. Drago glances up and away toward the glassy dome of the yard. The eye is the best place you can be right now. The eye? The station. You'll see soon enough. Dragos impatiently shifts his weight. Look, I've got things to be getting on with, he trails off. There's an old freight container I've been using as a storage out in the stacks. We haven't been pulling in much valuable scrap these days, so you are welcome to it. Something wells up inside of you. Emotion, fatigue. You shakily get to your feet. Nod. Alright. You head on up there. You look like you need some rest. And with that, Drago stalks back into the Rex, his drone already converging on a rusting hulk. Plasma flashes silhouetting his spindly figure as he returns to work. Tutorial and introduction. Welcome to Elrorin's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting moves time forward on the station. Head to the empty container location to rest and end the cycle now. Okay. So, empty container, you're home for now. All cycles need to end. Rest and prepare for the next one. You wake up, curled in the corner of the container, and begin slowly assembling the world around you. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you awaken now, strange and disjointed. Its messages readable, but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the Malar blanket close against the cold. Here you are, on this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know. After all this, what matters? Building a life. Maybe you did get lucky. Finding yourself here, maybe here, on the edge of everything. There's a life for you to build. But before you can build anything, you'll need to learn to survive. Maybe if you can do that, you can make a new life for yourself. Dragos has left a few comforts in the container. A Mylar blanket, the bedroll you slept on, a canister of water, a makeshift electric stove, and some faded sachets of some disintegrated powder? Sure. You thumb through the power stud of the stove and begin to boil the water. The contents of the sachets small and damp wood, and you sprinkle them into the liquid. As the pungent smell washes over you, images from your restless sleep come back to you, a ring like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin, a constellation of bright polygonal shapes like angular suns burning into your mind. There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images, and it is long after you've finished drinking before they fade. You tidy away the stove as best you can and try to gather enough energy to greet the day. Tutorial: condition, action dice, and energy. Condition. Your condition represents the current state of your artificial body. It depletes by one segment each cycle, but you can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. If your condition bar empties, you will suffer a breakdown. You have to figure out how to recover your condition now that you no longer have access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. Number 2, action dice. At the start of each of your cycles, you roll your action dice. These dice can be used to perform actions on the station. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. The worse your condition, the fewer dice you have. Once you have used up your dice, you cannot take any further actions and must rest to recover them, ending the current cycle. Energy: you also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but first you'll have to find somewhere to get food. Your energy depletes by 2 segments each cycle. If it becomes empty, you will be starving. When starving, energy loss becomes condition loss, and your condition will also deplete at double the rate per cycle. That sounds horrible. Okay. Dragos is standing near the corridor when you close up the container. He's still wearing his headset, and in the harsh light of the corridor, you realize it's implanted. A drone sits on his shoulder, its cachet of sensor eyes rapidly irising. How are you feeling? Okay. The drone chirps. Good to hear. You notice that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is marked by burns and blotches. I know that container isn't much, but it'll keep you safe, he pauses. So, I'm not gonna chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Sure. Alright then, he nods. At the yard, it's simple stuff. We hack these old holes down, sell them off to the shipyards or the black market dealers for cryo. Occasionally, we pull out some tech, something with a bit more value, but most of what comes up is scrap. It's hard to find good hands here, but I figure as a sleeper, you'll be used to the manual labor. And obviously, I'll slip you a few chits of commission based on when you turn up. Got it. He shuffles to his feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you'd be best suited moving on as quickly as you can, and sleeper as well. He trails off. But things being the way they are for me at the yard, he pauses, I need the help. Happy to. Okay, he pauses, thinking of something else to add. Look, just come down to the yard when you're feeling fresher. There's plenty to do. Will do. He nods distractedly and turns and walks away, the drone hopping along ahead of him. See you later, he calls back. Looks like it's time to get to work. Okay, so, Dragoo's yard. Actions are the primary way you interact with the world of Citizen Sleeper. To perform an action, click and drag your chosen action dice to the slot. Repeatable action, hold dissection. Even the rustiest hole can hide valuable components and materials. Extracting them means cutting carefully and skillfully. Input dice. repeatable action, manual, salvage, engineer, endure. Aha! Okay. It's going to take some time to sort and cut your way through the towers of salvage, but you are no stranger to hard labor. Okay. Actions reward you with clock progress, energy, conditions, or items depending on their outcome. There are 3 kinds of outcome. Positive, the action goes better than expected. Neutral, the action succeeds. Negative, the action fails. 6 is 100% chance. 5 is a 50-50. 3 and 4 are 25. Ooh, interesting. And then 1 and 2 are 50-50. Neutral or negative. Okay. Actions display information about their type, risk level, and skill, and modifiers that apply to the action. Type 1. Either critical or repeatable. Critical actions can only be performed once. Risk. Either safe, risky, or danger. Safe, no loss of condition, energy, or cryo. Nice to know. Negative, outcomes mean cryo or energy loss. Negative, outcome means condition loss. Ooh. Neutral, outcome can mean cryo or energy loss. The skill that this action requires either engineer, interface, endure, intuit, or engage. And the modifier of -1, 0, +1, or +2. This is added to the action dice when slotted and improves its value. Some actions require a +1 to perform. Interesting. Okay. So we could easily go to a 5 here and a 4 here, because then they're both 5s. Hello? Can I not do both? I mean, I could just do also that as a 6 and get 100%. And it is safe. Well, let's do this. There we go. All right. Actions often progress clocks. Clocks are displayed below the actions that fill them, and they track your actions and how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something good or bad is about to happen. Some clocks, such as the one tracking Drago's debt, are clock cycles. These clocks tick themselves once each cycle and can complete without player input. Any active cycle clocks will be displayed on the icon for that location. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's risk it. Drives and navigation. In Citizen Sleeper, you will unlock drives as you discover more about yourself and the world. Drives guide you in pursuing specific objectives, depending on which path you wish to take. You can track drives, and track drives will place a yellow marker on the locations that will help you pursue that goal. Access your drive menu via the arrow button at the top left of the screen. Find a doctor. Okay. You are now free to explore Elrin's Eye and make a life for yourself here. Try tracking a drive to help you survive. Look for food to keep your energy up and a way to recover condition. Fill clocks to progress stories and find new opportunities. Remember to end cycle at your home when you are out of dice. Use the mouse wheel or WNS to scroll through along the streets. Okay, that's fine. Hey, there we go. All right. Okay. Merchants willing to run the gauntlet. Hmm. Aha. Okay. Okay. Well, there's a lot more around here. Interesting. Okay. Well. I don't like those. What about here? No, that doesn't do me anything right now. Explore the markets. Ooh. Pay the word toll. I'm at 20 cryo right now. Okay. And then this way, the shipyard. Ooh. Okay, so we definitely need to get stronger, I guess. Danger. And then that was it. That was it. Okay. So I kind of feel like I'm gonna finish just working here. Okay. Let's go. Okay. Negative outcomes. Okay, but it was safe, so nothing bad happened. Perfect. Okay. Well. Oh. Repeat perk. Sunbathe. Your frame's photosynthetic skin allows you to gather energy through sunlight. The longer you stay, the better. Interesting. Okay, well, we're gonna end our cycle. Uh-oh, container. This time you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station, that shifting skeletal rig, surrounds you. For a moment, you are gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across the colorless void. Then, the connection begins to establish themselves, threads tugging on the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange and then extensions, as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into millions of disturbed nodes that connect to you. You see the station. No, you feel the station. Like a web of texture in a smooth black liquid. Gotta touch it. You find a point in the station and you connect to it, pulse through it. Follow loops and paths under and around it. You touch more points than your fingers. And then you try, in a moment of impulsiveness, to connect to them. The flow passes through you so rapidly that you feel yourself being carried with it, splitting and separating, eddying and gathering. As you do, things occur to you, things you can't possibly know. You reach out, try to grasp them, try to touch one of them. You notice a tugging feeling pulling at you incessantly, as if it were a small child. Somehow it's pulling you in two directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden, everything shuts off. You come back trembling into this unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours all at once. You find yourself standing in the container, eyes now open into the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. You close your eyes for a second, and you feel it waiting there, the station splayed out across your mind, a storm of connective nodes waiting to be explored, and then it's gone.